You know, over the years, we've seen a trend develop where we call it the reveal, where the actual bride and the groom, or two brides or two guys, whatever, will actually get together and see each other before they get married. And usually it's done either A, to just get the nerves out of the way, get the couple to soak each other in before they get married. But usually it's because maybe they want a certain format of wedding where they want to get married a bit later, don't have any time for photographs after the wedding, and therefore will actually see each other before we get married, take some photographs, get that pressure off, and then they can get married and go straight into the reception. So we call this the reveal. But in the context of actual family photographs, what does this mean? Well, and I don't know if I'm the first person to do it. I certainly have championed the cause and popularised it in the photography industry, especially in the wedding industry, is to do a reveal of the bride with her family, and namely also the father, because usually the father-daughter relationship is a very strong one. I'm not saying mother-daughter is not. It's usually the mother may have been involved in the choosing of the dress. So there's more of a surprise element when the bride sees her father for the first time as a bride. And I'm not going to share this. I'll share a story at another time about how this sort of came about, but I want to talk to you about how important this is and how many great photographs you can get out of it. Now, you may have actually been privy to a reveal like this one, where the bride will walk down the stairs, for example, and reveal herself to all the guests waiting for her before we go. Now, in this case, I've got the bride's parents in the mirror. We've got an auntie or two over here, and the girls, and then her best friend escorting her down, and we get a beautiful series of shots. Or we can get it this other way, where we're basically the bride's coming down, and of course, you can get a sense of the anticipation of everybody, and it's hyping up. But the idea of being able to go out of your way to tell the bride, I want to make a moment out of you seeing your father for the last time as a single girl, and then telling the father, please don't walk into this room or whatever, we're going to let you know when you can see your beautiful daughter for the last time as a single girl. So sure enough, in this particular next example, there's a wall between us. So imagine there's a wall right here, right where in line with me. We've got the father on one side and the bride on the other. So then you've got the anticipation photograph of where the father is just sort of waiting to see the bride. The bride's all nervous because she wants, let's face it, we want our parents to be proud of us. And especially if you've got your hair and makeup done and you're looking gorgeous, you want to feel gorgeous and you want your mum and dad to be proud of you and soak in that energy and beauty and all that kind of stuff. So then she turns the corner and then we get this incredible reaction, and then you've got that beautiful warmth. I love the endearing, just that warmth of the way an affectionate father will look at his daughter, and then of course her wiping her tears. But it's such a beautiful story. Now I'm going to tell you that you can do it in many different ways. There are sometimes you can do it just with the wall. Sometimes I get a father and a daughter back to back so that you can feel each other's energy, and then all of a sudden they turn around and then bang, this happens. You know, they had a very playful relationship. And so when they turned around, she was like, oh my God. And then he just was like, oh, come here, a big hug. And then they're having some fun. And that was one of the best reactions to a reveal that I've ever actually seen and had the privilege of photographing between a father and a daughter. And then sometimes, you know, it'll be a bride or a mother will walk actually inside a bedroom, and I take the shot of their reaction. And then knowingly afterwards, I might just simply get the bride to look at her parents, but go from the other angle and photograph between the parents. Now here's the thing, I'm not going to interrupt the moment while this is happening, but I'll take that shot. But what I wish could happen, that I was also behind them photographing the bride. So I take all those shots. After all that simmers a little bit and I get that story, then at one point I just grab the parents back the other way, and then I make her laugh, and I use the father and the mother as a foreground to frame the bride, and now I get that shot. At this particular wedding, it was really funny because I'd done a reveal with parents before. I'd done a reveal with a dad and all that kind of stuff. I'd never done a reveal with grandparents. So I thought, let's do it. And I struck gold straight away. I mean, look how beautiful the look of the grandmother is, and how granddad's sort of looking on and wiping her tears, and that little brow pressure is so beautiful. And I'm like, I'm on a roll here. I've got this incredible reveal with parents. I got an incredible view with grandparents. By this stage, the bridesmaids did not actually see the dress yet. I'm like, this is perfect. Let's get the bridesmaids and the sisters to see the bride for the first time. So I build in anticipation. They walk in and we get these incredible shots. And remember that you can just simply change your perspective, and then you've got this perspective as well. So certainly if you were two photographers on an event like a wedding day, for example, then yeah, you're not going to want the other photographer in the way, but hopefully you get the bride from a certain angle, and then you could come from this angle as well and get the bridesmaid's reaction as well. But I love the fact that we can do this, that we could get the reaction of mum, we get the wiping of the tears of the bride, get the hug, and then at one point I flip the switch, so to speak. It's almost like shooting a movie where you shoot the same scene from different angles and then you piece it together. And then this beautiful hug and embrace between bride and parents, because, you know, you will often, if you are an only child, you will often hug your parents, and this will happen a lot in your life. And then, coupled with all of those shots that we did of this same family, if you look at maybe pinning of the flower there on Dad's jacket there, and then the traditional one, but the interactive ones, now we have a complete story. So I love the fact that we can do this. So remember, I've just shown you a reveal with the father, grandparents, the sisters, the bridesmaids. And remember to take advantage of those different angles as well. This could add incredible value to whatever you're doing. Now, I don't care. It could be, for example, a quinceañera that you're doing. It could be the first time this girl is wearing this beautiful dress and Dad hasn't seen her yet. Don't even let it happen where Dad just walks by, oh, like, you look beautiful, and then he walks off. Make a moment out of it. Sometimes you'll get gold, and then sometimes it will be okay. All I'm saying to you, it'll be better than what it would have been with your direction. So remember that we want to celebrate relationships, build anticipation, remind people of the importance of the occasion, in this case a wedding, and I'm telling you, this could add so much flavour to the photographs you take. Next, we're going to talk just briefly about how to capture families in groups in a natural environment.